All
do.
right, we're just gonna press the go button
Oh
here.
God. Okay. Which
I didn't even give Kevin a heads up on that one. Welcome back to the Talkie Average Fitness Podcast, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Sam Burns. I'm joined as always by my good friend, compatriot, fellow coach, fellow dad, and garage CrossFit enthusiast, Mr. Kevin McCarthy. How are you today, sir?
we're doing good. How are you?
Can't complain. I think I PR'd my 2-rep strict press today.
This is like not it. So fantastic. First of all, like any sort of like strict press or strict. I'm just gonna go strict anything
Okay.
that for humans with long limbs, problem. Like
Yes. Not
like
fun.
if you're like, all right, I'm gonna like go for my back squat. It's a long fucking way down there. If you're going for a strict press, you are moving that bar at least 2 miles on that strict press.
Yeah.
It takes about 5 minutes for me to complete a heavy strict press. Um, so all that aside, who in the flying fuck keeps track of a 2-rep strict press?
I
Like
don't
so
know.
I'm like 1 rep, 3 rep, 5 rep makes sense to me. When someone's like, I PR'd my 7-rep deadlift, I'm like, who, what? Like I don't. That doesn't compute in my brain.
So for
Like
me, it
one, three,
was
five, 20 rep max if you're a psycho.
right. And so let me do a quick math here. Yeah, I'm about there. So it was cap program 10 by 2 strict press.
Mm,
And so, start at whatever they said.
the
Start at
empty bar.
50%, make jumps after that. Yeah, empty bar,
Yes, the
which is
empty
what
bar.
everyone wants to start at. And
Yeah.
so I mean, tall guy and
Mm-hmm.
overhead pressing is not a strength of mine. So,
Same way.
okay. So my
All humans, long
PR I
limbs,
think was,
pressing weakness.
yeah, my PR I think is like 130 for a single rep strict press. Um,
Mm.
unlike my ex colleague at CrossFit Medfield, Dylan Pettit, who
Oh
in
God.
his peak had a 275 strict press.
Yeah. Well, but like Dylan's shoulders were also the same amount of like square footage as the state of Texas.
There
So
is that. Dylan's a
if you
big boy.
don't know Dylan, he's like if you took a silverback gorilla and shaved off all the hair and then named it Dylan, that's Dylan. And like in like the in meaning no disrespect to Dylan,
No,
he's a phenomenal like
absolutely not.
he's just like massive,
Mm,
just big guy.
big dude.
Um
Um,
yeah, I guess I can't really
no,
complain about my strict press thing, but
no, no. So yeah, it was 10 by 2 strict press, and I hit 125 for a double, and then
there we
tried to
go.
do 130 for a double, and got the first one up, and it was a
Mm.
long way up, and that
Yep.
second rep it came down, and I was like, "Ah, it's just not going to happen." So
Because you're gonna
at
use your
least
collarbone as a spring.
I
Just like
don't
that
want
last
to
bit as
do
the
that.
bar is coming down, just as it comes down, it's kind of like, oh, one of those.
Oh,
Just
my collarbone
forsake your
broke just
collarbone.
thinking
It's
about
fine.
that. Forsake your
Ah,
collarbone.
yeah,
No,
whatever.
no.
All for the
Um,
lifts, man.
so I'm glad that we started this that way. Um,
Yeah,
so we popped on, and I had already named the episode, and so the episode is
yeah.
episode 65. Dave Castro isn't here, man. And for those of you who don't know, that's literally Dave's not here from Cheech and Chong. If you don't know that, you're younger than I am. Um,
I don't know that.
well, you're younger than I am.
Well, I am.
Yeah, Dave's not here, man. Um, I think Dave Castro's full of shit and he's trolling us. That's what I think
Oh,
this is.
with his open
Yes,
clues,
yes.
he has been doing that since the beginning. He'd like post it. Here's the thing that's amazing, right? Is because the internet will take anything and like make something of it.
Uh-huh.
I remember one year for one, I can't remember the year, I can't remember which workout it was posted for, but he posted a picture. It was just a picture of a sunflower, just like the head of a sunflower, right? Oh my, like grab your box of popcorn and hop into that comment section. Dear God, there were people who were like, I counted, they were doing some sort of like advanced physics in there, trying to like make sense. They were like, there were 37 seed pits, and the number 37 corresponds with like Aristotle's principle of some shit or another. And then because of Aristotle's principle, Aristotle, the name Aristotle has it's however many letters in it. And that many letters is also
It's
the number
15
of letters
letters.
in the word deadlift. Yeah, whatever. So like 15 letters. And there are also 15 letters in the word they whatever. I'm just making stuff up, trying to go fast in my head, and you're
I
screwing
know.
me up.
I
Shut
know.
up.
I am.
But like Aristotle has this many letters, and it's also got the same number of letters as the word deadlift. So we must be doing deadlifts. And they got that because they counted 37. I was like, the amount of mental gymnastics that happened.
Yeah. Yeah.
And everyone's trying to make sense of Dave's clues. Dave's clues have never meant anything. None of it relates to an open workout ever. It
It
just
makes sense to
gets the
Dave.
people going. In the words of Kanye West, it gets the people going.
Right. The immortal words.
Yeah,
I think so.
it's the people going.
So part of this is, we had 24.1, which was not unique. It was
No,
18.0 times 2. Um,
yeah, basically just split
it
on instead of
was.
all chaining dumbbell snatch. No, it was, but instead of all chaining, it was just 21 on one side, 21 on the other. But same
Sure.
dumbbell snatch and burpee over the dumbbell, same
Sure.
thing.
And like now I had a good discussion with someone after the fact where it was like one of the things that was unique was, for example, the mandated jump over the dumbbell, which
Yeah.
regardless of scaling level, you jumped over the dumbbell. You weren't allowed to sidestep over the dumbbell. And like, okay, so the argument
Mm-hmm.
could be made that like from, mandating intensity, driving intensity, like we're going to say you have to do it like this. That's
Mm-hmm.
definitely a thing that was done. And like, do I believe that it was accessible? Absolutely. Do I think that it was a good expression of aerobic capacity and, you know, pulling and
Pain
pressing?
tolerance.
Pain discomfort tolerance? And like if you finish 90 snatches and 90 burpees in under 15 minutes, hats off to you. Like it's like, and then there's on the other end of that spectrum, there's fucking Colton Mertens, who did you see that?
No, fucking Midgie Magoo had it like, goddamn.
Bruh.
What
So
are
some
you doing?
guy,
Like sub five?
no, he was like 5 and change, but he got
Yeah, okay.
faster each round.
As
So
he was
someone,
as he was going.
yeah, so someone counted. He did X number of snatches per minute in the round of 21s, X number of burpees per minute in the round of 21s. And when he got to the 15s, he went faster by 1 rep each per minute. And then when he got to the 9s, he went faster by 1 rep each. The other thing I thought was amazing is I don't think you can improve upon it. Like, unless you had a shorter frame, like,
Well, right.
so
Yeah.
he would do his burpee. The really impressive part was the burpee over the dumbbell. So it was the transition rather. He does the burpee over the dumbbell, last rep, chest hits the ground, comes up, jumps over, stays low, right?
Mm-hmm.
From that hunched over position where both feet touch the ground and complete the rep, he
Mm-hmm.
brings one foot back over,
Yeah.
hand on, and immediately
Yep.
just yanks and pulls into a snatch.
Does almost every again games athlete that had like a reasonable frame to do that, because I remember I watched Noah Olson's video and Noah did that.
Mm.
There were athletes. I've watched videos of some people. This was absolutely nutty. And again, just like comes down to like the sport of CrossFit just being
Mm.
people nerding out about it so much. There were people that drew chalk boxes on the floor for this is where the dumbbell goes. This is
Yep.
where my hands go. This is
Yep.
where my feet go. Like
Yep.
I sat there, I was like, what are we doing? Like, does that
And
really help that much?
I
Like, I
know.
don't. It exploded. I lost brain cells watching some of those videos.
I tell you, so like I do something like that with a workout like this. I know I'm trying to like move as quickly as possible. I want to be efficient with my movements. I'll chalk my hands before the workout, right? And I'll
Mhm.
chalk the dumbbell like with my hands, right? So, but then
Yeah,
I take the
sure.
excess
So the dumbbell
chalk
handle has chalk on it.
and I make handprints where my hands are going to go for the burpee.
So that's different than I drew 8 chalk boxes on the floor because I wanted to make sure that like when my feet hop up, they have to land in the box and they're going to jump over to the other set of boxes and then jump back into a box and then back up into a box and my hands go in a box and the dumbbells go in the box.
I've done
Like,
stuff like that around
like
like boxes around my feet for wall ball workouts.
I don't, I don't get it. I don't, I've
Why
just
are you the way
always been
you
of the,
are?
like I've just always been in the mind, even when I was really trying to make a push in the sport of CrossFit, I've always been in the mind of like, we're just fucking working out, man. Like if you want
Yeah.
to, if you're that concerned with beating people, go faster. Like when people, so here's like people like what with running routes in the gym, and we had arguments about this at CrossFit Tilt, right? Because they're like the running routes were like measured from a certain spot on the floor in the gym, and so there
Mhm.
was something that was
Yep.
called like the cone of fairness, where like put the cone down. If you're on this side, you have to run around the cone and out. If you're on this side, you run out and then around the cone to come back. So that you like everyone had their spot, and they made it equidistant for everyone. And people would lose their minds about like where the cone was placed, which side of the room are you on? Which I'm like, guys. So I remeasured all the running routes and was like, they all start at the fucking door. Like as soon as you're out the door, your 400 meters starts.
Yeah.
Anything that happens in the gym, I don't care. And people were like, "Well, I'm further from the door." Okay, and like,
Well, you know
congratulations, you get
the
you get 10 feet fitter. Oh, fucking
what is
Christ!
it? The Ben Bergeron solution to that.
Do I want to know?
Well, so as a contrast, not saying one is better than the other, right?
Mm-hmm.
At CrossFit New England, all of the run routes
Yeah.
include a path inside of the gym.
Well, so that's what the cone of fairness was at Tilt. Was like you had depending on which side. No, I'm serious. Depending on which
Yeah, yeah.
side of the room you were on,
Yep.
you would start there and like if it's a loop, right? If these are where's my fucking hand? If these are like one rig, and the door is on this side, it's like this
With your
person
where your
would have
elbow
to
is.
go, yeah. So like the door
Yeah.
is over here where my elbow is, right? So this person would have to run around the cone and
Uh-huh.
out. This
Uh-huh.
person would run out and then around the cone, like
But
coming
then come
back
back
in.
on the way in. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Right, come back. And so
Yeah.
like same idea. And it hurt my brain because everyone would just lose their minds about it. And I was so much of the mind of like, and I would ask people the question, why are you upset about it?
Yeah.
Like, why does the fact that Jack is 2 spots over, like,
Mhm.
why does that make you upset? Why are you worried about it? And as soon as it was like, what I'm fishing for is essentially like, are you trying to beat Jack? Is that what you're trying to do? Is like you're
Right.
basing your whole river on today of beating Jack in Helen.
Right.
Okay, sweet. You want to beat Jack and Helen. I got it. So here's what you can do. If you both are in agreement that we're going to race and get after it,
Yeah.
set up in spots right next to each other so the run is equidistant.
Sure.
Or if, and I'm Jack was our other coach, like if Jack is shorter than me, so he can use a shorter pull-up bar. I need the taller pull-up bars. They were only a select few of them on the rig. So it's like
Right.
the spots that I can pick are limited as a taller athlete.
Yep.
So guess fucking what? If I'm further down the rig than Jack, so my run is automatically longer because I'm further in the room, guess what I have to do to beat Jack?
Run
Go
faster.
faster.
Yeah.
Yeah, run fucking faster. And if I'm not willing to do that, all right, sweet. Like I don't know. Like people lose their minds about so much, and especially like I don't. There's so many things that aggravate me. I'm like, guys, it's not that serious. If you
Well, the
want to
last
be
10
fitter,
minutes
go faster.
makes that very obvious.
Yeah, so it got me all riled up. So push up. If you want to get me real riled up, let's talk about people like that hide their open scores until 7:59 p.m. on Monday.
God, you and
Fucking
your
hell,
affiliate managers hate you. So,
makes me so angry.
whatever. Um,
Anyways, yep, whatever.
I have
Open
the
scores.
luxury of not being fit enough for that to matter. So, yay.
Nor do I care. The only
Yeah.
time that I wouldn't post a score like is if I knew I was going to redo it. If I was like, okay, that one wasn't what I was looking for. I'm going to
Yep.
redo it Monday. Then I'm not going to post the first score. I'm
Yeah.
going to redo it Monday and then post that one. But as soon as I had the score that's like that's the one, it was going in there, regardless
Sure.
of my level of athlete. Because I was also just like, hey, if you are trying to go to semifinals, and I understand that like if you're like on the bubble,
Yep.
like the margins are thin. However, if you're like, I'm a semifinals caliber athlete, then you should be fit enough that you post your score and like people won't be able to catch you, you
Sure.
know? Like, and I'm gonna pick on my friend Frank because he does this. And he I have had multiple
Frank?
conversations. I was kind of like,
No,
yeah,
he does not.
of course he does. He's the worst about it. Uh,
I'm going to message
he'll
him right
hold his
now.
he would like we were at the same gym and like trying to put in a team. Like we were on the same team, and he wouldn't tell me what his score in an open workout was. I
Are you
just like
kidding
was just
me?
like, hey man, how'd it go? Because he did it in Needham and not Boston. I was like, how'd it go? And he was just like, oh, can't tell you. Like, I'm not trying to beat you, dude. We're on the same fucking team. Anyways, um, I love Frank, but he's the worst about it.
I just
And
left him a message. I said I'm on a podcast with McCarthy right now. He's bad mouthing you.
yeah, good. It's
Good.
good. Uh, and so like right now, like if we're at 24.1,
Yeah.
there's no world in which like Frank hiding his score or posting his score makes
Yeah.
it any more likely that I'm going to catch him. It
Right.
doesn't matter.
Right.
And especially because I'm 97.2% sure that Frank is going on a team with Southie again, or that's their goal is to have their team go to semifinals again.
Sure.
It doesn't matter. Like you're not
No.
competing as individuals. Like your scores cumulatively matter for your team, but it kind of doesn't matter. Like I don't know. It blows my brain sometimes. Like the hiding open scores and stuff.
Well, so yes,
It's not that serious.
I promise.
Like I get why people do it, but it's not that serious.
No, it's not this serious. I promise I had an intention with this podcast when I
Sorry, I just
sandbagged
went on a
Kevin.
rant and just like
It's okay.
just
We're
like
good.
60.
We're,
This
we're
is
all
what you
along for
do
the
when you
ride.
don't tell me things. You just press the go button. You get what you get. Okay, like
I didn't know not telling you things was the only time I got what I got with Kevin McCarthy. Pretty sure
most of the time.
that's a constant. Um,
Yeah,
so
it's most of the time. Anyways, go ahead.
so real quick, we should probably do a other than being like 24-1 isn't unique. We should probably talk about how it went and then give predictions for 24-2.
Mm, we got 10
I
minutes to get predictions in, then we find out.
yes, 10 minutes and 18 seconds. And
Yep.
I keep coming back to the page and refreshing just in case they decide to go live early. But they won't. So
Yeah.
I how did it go for you? 24-1, paint a picture.
Good. Yeah, good. I finished in 11:04, um, which like I have this battle of because I used to be at a certain level in the
Mm,
sport of CrossFit,
mm,
and now I am no longer, and my life is better for it.
for
And
sure.
that's just something unique to me. That doesn't mean that if you enjoy competing in CrossFit that you should leave the sport and your life will be better. That's just a me thing. Um, like because it allowed me to pursue soccer again, which has brought
Yeah.
so much joy into my life. And
Yeah.
I'm not spending 3 hours a day in the gym training like I have those extra 2 hours, 2.5 hours of my life back because I can shorten that training window.
Absolutely.
Um, but it's just my fitness looks different. I am in much better soccer shape, which is very much so an aerobic bias.
Hmm.
So like the glycolytic
Ah,
sort of like kind of pain tolerance isn't the same, and moving weight isn't the same. And like in my head, I'm okay with that. But then immediately after the workout, I had the moment of fuck, you're really unfit, or like, or comparatively to where not as in a grand scope scheme of things. I understand that I'm very fit, but
sure.
like compared to Kevin 2 years ago,
Right.
like the kind of drop off and how that felt. Because I'm like Kevin 2 years ago probably could have finished that in like 7 or 8 minutes. Um,
I heard a great
and
quote that I will come back to that applies to this.
I'm looking forward to hearing it. But
Yeah.
I like after I kind of like had my moment to rationalize like, okay, well, it's where you are now, and like
Mhm.
CrossFit right now is just a tool to allow me to go and do other things as opposed
Yes.
to the whole deal.
Yep.
Like I was very happy with my score, and how it went. Like I went as fast as I could,
Yep.
um, without fully exploding too early in the whatever. But um, yeah, it went as well as it could have and should have for where I am with my fitness and what I've been doing outside of the gym. So I was good with it.
Nice.
How about
Um,
you? Old
so I
back
recently,
snap fold in half?
yeah, right. I recently injured my left arm, specifically my
That's
shoulder.
fun.
Yeah, not really. Um,
All them TGC demos.
and I know exactly what it was too. It was,
I'm sure you do.
yeah, it was, we were in Africa. It was they were running us through the level 2 course, and it's
Mm.
um a movement I have not spent time doing, and it's back lever on the rings. And so back lever on the rings, you
Okay, yeah. So
from
you're like prone, right?
yes, pronated face
Okay,
down, arms
gotcha.
behind. And
Yeah, behind you.
if you look at the TGC logo, the little silhouette is a guy doing a back lever. Um,
Yeah,
and there's a cue when
not
you
easy.
pass. No, no, not. And so like a true skinny cat is a straight arm,
Yep.
straight body press from hang through inversion into hang again. And
Mm-hmm.
at full lever length, when you pass from inverted into back lever, you go
Yep.
from a head tucked position to a head neutral position. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and the head tucking will physically block your shoulder from opening at a certain angle. And I'm being
Yep.
spotted on both sides by two other very strong human beings. And I'm literally like, they get me inverted and they start to bring me back. And Zoltan from Hungary is like, Sab, go further, go further. And I'm like, I can't. And I'm like, I can't. Oh wait, yes I can. And like
Yeah.
as I come up and they pass me down, something happened in there, and it wasn't
Some
something
moved.
acute. Well, it wasn't something acute. It's not like something popped or anything, but I noticed it after the fact. Something didn't feel right, and so I've been dealing with some discomfort. And I went and saw a PT, and appropriately dealing with that. But I didn't think 90 dumbbell snatches or an attempt at dumbbell snatches at 50 pounds was a smart move. So I scaled the workout. Um,
Gotcha.
and I did, so 35-pound dumbbell, I did it in 12:22. I had 3
Heck
no
yeah.
reps, all on burpee over dumbbell for, like, my foot touching the thing. And
Mm.
I was proud. One of them, I called myself out, and in the sense that,
Yeah.
like, you know, okay, be a good human. Um,
Yeah.
I For a guy who doesn't do, you know, 90 90 burpees regularly or 90 snatches regularly, I feel like I tolerated it relatively well. A lot of
Yeah.
my conditioning recently has been gymnastics oriented and like for
Mm-hmm.
demos and stuff like that. So not necessarily work capacity. Um, I
Yeah.
thought, I think it was a really effective test of work capacity in terms of like, hey,
Very
here's
much
a
so.
load, move your body in through full flexion and extension. There's a press and a pull. Like
Yeah.
I, I think great first
Hip
test.
extension, hip flexion. I think there's a
Yes,
good
yes, yes.
balance between like we can poke fun at the fact that it's not that it wasn't very unique, which it wasn't, but
Sure.
like as far as movement patterns,
Yeah.
very balanced both about the shoulders, like both you got push pull, hip flexion extension, like very balanced in the movement patterns. And again, one of those workouts that I really enjoy where it's like there's not like the limiter is your work capacity. It's not the load, it's not the skill, like it's your work capacity and your pain tolerance,
Yeah.
essentially.
Yeah.
Um, so
And to be
really
clear,
good
when
tested
Kevin's talking
engine.
about, well, I was going to say, when Kevin's talking about tolerance, he's talking about like the,
Metabolic discomfort.
yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Like my heart rate's in my throat and my breathing is burning my esophagus and
Yeah.
like my muscles are burning and all that. Like that just the deep glycolytic state that you get into in the middle of a mid to like 8 to 15 minute CrossFit workout
Ugh,
where you're like, oh,
Helen.
this is really, really unpleasant. Fucking Helen. Um,
It's Helen. The
like
whole
Helen is
God
because like
damn it.
people ask me like what my favorite benchmark is, what my favorite workout. I don't have one. I have three that like I put as a like my three favorite cross workouts
Okay.
ever.
Yeah.
And like when you say favorite cross workout, it's got to be like a name something because you can
2K
make up
row,
whatever.
Karen, and Helen.
No, Karen's not in the top three.
Oh.
Um, so my three favorite are Helen, Nancy, and Fight Combat.
Mm, okay.
That's it.
I What's Nancy again?
Nancy is the 400-meter run, 15 overhead squats for 5 rounds.
That's what it was. Yes, 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 yes.
Yeah,
Um,
to explode your life.
and Fight Gone Bad. Fight Gone Bad. Fight Gone Bad is super effective. Um,
I
I
like it a lot because like the minute rest is like just enough from round one to round two where you're like, I can get some. and then it's not even remotely close to enough from round 2 to round 3.
I know. You get to
They're
that
like,
rest in round three.
you finish the minute row, you put the handle back, you like take one breath, you look at the clock, and you go, fuck. And it
Yeah.
make you over to the wall ball because it goes so fast, that rest. But
I
yeah, those are
I
my top three, and I can't split them. They're like,
mm,
I love all three of them equally for different reasons.
I like Helen. I think Helen is really like Fran is almost too fast in terms of like if you are efficient with your movement patterns, like
Hmm.
you'll just finish Fran very fast. Helen is different. Like you can only cover
Alan is different.
400-meter run so fast. You can only swing a kettlebell
Hmm.
a given distance so fast. Um,
And hit standard
and
and
hit
hit something
standard.
resembling
Yes.
a standard.
I also, for different reasons, I like Nicole. AMRAP 20, 400-meter run, max unbroken
Ooh.
pull-ups.
See, I don't like Nicole because I've done it once and I've messed myself up on that workout. Because so we were at CrossFit Boston,
Yep.
and it's myself and one of our members, Matt Wheeler. We're like, and Matt's good at pull-ups. I was good at pull-ups. Again, this is like the
Yeah.
height of me in CrossFit, and we got there, and of course, there's like the Blackbird Donuts down the whatever. And we're like, it's a Saturday workout. We're like, all right, here's what we're gonna do between me and Matt. First of pull-ups has to be like max, like literally until you fall off the pull-up bar, like as many as humanly possible, max unbroken.
Yeah.
And because if you do Nicole reasonably, like you choose a reasonable chunk that you can repeat roughly, like within like a 5 rep window or so. We went full bonkers. And so it was like whoever got the biggest set of pull-ups
Yeah.
won that one. And then whoever got the most reps of pull-ups overall in the workout, like we're gonna see who could do whatever.
Yeah.
And like I opened with a set of 67 pull-ups.
And
And yeah, right.
he beat you?
And so I opened with a set of 67. He beat me by 2 total reps over the course of the total thing.
Oh,
But I got my total score for Nicole was 197 pull-ups.
oh my God.
And so I could not move or straighten my arms for 5 days.
Yeah.
Like I
Rab
was messed up.
Rabdo
Yeah.
City.
So yeah. Um,
Cha.
so that was that one. And so I'm just like, well, nope, I don't want to do that ever again.
I don't want to do that one ever again.
I,
I like
no,
I like
good.
Nicole for a bunch of reasons. Like it doesn't matter if you do strict or kipping, you can make it real bad. And because
I like, can you make strict? Well, I guess because you just like you're doing more running then. But like, can
do
you?
run faster. Like
Well,
you can
okay, that's what I was getting at. You can run faster and make it gross that way. But I'm like,
yes.
at some point, I'm doing like sets of 3 strict pull-ups.
I think that but that's the thing is like, okay, if your strict pull-ups tap out, cool. You'll run more. And it's a workout that works well in a class environment. It's a workout that works well.
Hmm.
Like if I want to do a workout and I want to bias, like I want to work on kipping efficiency, cool.
Hmm.
I can pick a number I know I can repeat and
Hmm.
shake my arms out on the run, come back in, hit that thing every single time. I can go for
Hmm.
like pull a Kevin and go max fucking set. Like what
Don't do that.
where does it go? Where does the fall off? You know? I can
Yeah.
also be like, all right, I'm gonna do strict pull-ups only, virtuous, beautiful strict pull-ups. And when I can't, when there's a kip, kick, or wiggle, drop, run, shake it, come back in, breath. Like it
Hmm.
works on a lot of levels.
Yeah. I think if you want to make it more, if you're someone who has the skill of butterfly pull-ups, if you want to make it more out of breathy, you'd go with
Yep.
butterfly pull-ups. If you want to make it more muscle burny, you go with a regular gymnastic kit pull-up. And that
Yep.
can offer like especially if you're a high level CrossFit athlete and you're like, I just do butterfly pull-ups now. Try a workout with regular gymnastic kit pull-ups and you will like have a seat, son. It's
Yeah.
not going to go well. It's
Let me
like when
tell
did you see
you.
the video they did of the Road to the Games in Cookville where Chris Hinshaw was having all the games athletes do
Yeah.
single unders and
Yeah.
you're watching like Rich Froning and Sarah Sigmundsdottir like I can't fucking do a single under anymore
Yeah.
because
Classic.
I just left that skill behind.
Yep.
Yes, like do more regular gymnastic kit pull-ups. It's good for you.
It is.
Um, but like doing it that way, we've done like it's not task priority because it's still an AMRAP, but we like you set the reps for the pull-ups. So we did like 20-minute AMRAP,
Mm.
400-meter run, 15 chest to bar. We did that at CrossFit Boston once. That was a hand plan one. And so
You
like
could
it's
also do
set
it
to work.
percentage based.
Right. So like take a percent, like maybe test before the workout a
Yup.
max set of pull-ups, and then take a percentage of the whole. Ugh.
And you
That
could
would
do
be
that for
so
strict
funny.
or kipping. Like, tell me, you could
Right.
do
Yeah.
10 unbroken strict pull-ups. Cool. Every round you're doing 60%.
Right. Yep. And then so
Talk
yeah.
about a
Oh,
pump.
God damn.
Well, so I have
Anyways,
predictions for
what's the open
24-2.
workout?
I'm
Oh,
refreshing
so
the page
it's
actively. It's not open yet,
well,
but I have.
okay. So
Go ahead.
don't, because if we're gonna do predictions, you can't look at it yet because that's cheating.
Okay. I won't look.
You
I'm not
fucker.
currently looking at it. The prediction
We're gonna
I
trust
have.
Sam that he's not looking.
No, it's a triplet.
Okay.
I'm gonna guess if they wanted to do something really unique, Rogue
Mm.
Echo Bike, Total Bar, and deadlift.
Oh, toe to bar deadlift is such a fucking gnarly combo because your
Right.
grip just goes.
So
I'm assuming for deadlift load, it's the standard like 2 1/4,
I'm
225, 155.
see. I think it could go a lot of ways. I think you could do
Climbing ladder.
you could do a um 10 10 10 20 20 20 30 30 30. You could do a fixed set of reps for an AMRAP. You could do a where it's gated, where it's like X number of reps in a certain amount of time. And
Mm-hmm.
then if you make it, you go on to the next one where it's more
You go on to the
reps.
next chunk of time.
Exactly.
Yep.
I think it would, or you could do
All
like
right.
ascending weights in the deadlift.
I was gonna say you go like 185, 225, 275, 315.
Yes. I think triplet, whatever it is, I think triplet. I think one of them will be specifically an aerobic movement involving a machine. I think
Mm-hmm.
one of them will be a high bar, low to moderate skill gymnastics movement,
Okay.
and then a loaded
So
movement of some kind.
I agree with you in terms of the structure. So I think like triplet, and you're
Yep.
gonna get a full MGW.
Yep.
I saw one because this like James did a little twist. He posted on Instagram, did a twist of like I think it was 20.2 or 20.3 or something like that, whereas the 20-minute AMRAP, 4 thrusters, 8 toes to bar, 24 double unders.
Oh, I remember that. That was a good
But
one.
in open workout, it was dumbbells, and he did it at just with a barbell at 135 for the thrusters.
Okay.
And I was like, that'd be a phenomenal workout. I like that. I don't think that's what it's going to be. I disagree with the Echo Bike thing. I don't think they'll do an Echo Bike. Maybe this could be our repeat, unless they just want to crush us with like one of the many Fran wraps that they've done over the years.
See,
Um,
I think you can only have Rogue as a title sponsor at the CrossFit Games so many years and not include a fucking Echo Bike in the open.
but I think it's just that the Echo Bike isn't because you have a lot of affiliates that don't have Echo Bikes,
So they have
and so
assault
if an
bikes.
affiliate, but those are not the same.
But so that doesn't matter though, because we have rowers and people figure out a way using other brands of rowers, like that we
But
have a
they're not
rower and
allowed to
haven't.
though.
Okay,
They're not
so
allowed to. It has to be a concept two rower.
okay,
And so because people
my
got
point.
pinged for that in 2018 when they used like a Zybex rower and CrossFit was like, no, fuck you, redo it. Find a
Uh-huh.
concept two and do it. So I think
Oh,
if they did the Echo Bike and people, no, you can't look at it. Well, you can. You already made your prediction. All right, you can look
I
at
did
it.
already make my prediction. Oh, that's fucked.
Yeah. Okay. Um, but I don't think you can use an Echo Bike because it's just okay. Not that you can't, but I think if they did use an Echo Bike, you would have a lot of people going like, "Well, fuck!" Like there's no affiliate near me that has an Echo Bike.
I think
So
if you're worried about, okay, I think that
like you get where I'm coming from, right?
I
Like it.
I do. I also think that there are plenty
You
of
don't have to agree
affiliates
with it. I
who
just
make it work, right? And I think that it's less important that people have a Concept 2 over a Zybex or have an Echo Bike over an Assault Bike. Like the people who are concerned about going to quarterfinals, they've got access to an Echo Bike or they're going to get access to an Echo Bike. You know what I mean?
fair enough. Like I agree with you.
Okay.
So I
Sounds
agree
like
with
you
you
disagree with
because
me.
me, so I'm gonna play devil's advocate for just a sec. But
Oh, shocker.
like me where I am currently in my fitness, I really don't care. Like if I use an echo bike or an assault bike, or if I use an echo bike and you use an assault bike, like I know those aren't the same thing, and that if your
Uh-huh.
score is better than mine, it's like
Yeah.
it's not the same. Like we
Right.
basically, if one person uses an assault bike, one person uses an echo bike, you did two different workouts. That feels totally different.
Okay.
Um, I think like there's just would be a lot of people that aren't okay with that, where they're like, well, your workout was easier than mine. It would just create a whole thing. I
I
don't know.
I think that
Because
for years they have been mandating the use of Concept 2 rowers, and why we would now all of a sudden decide that that's okay for rowers but not okay for bikes is fucking stupid. But that's just me.
well, that's why I'm saying they just haven't included a bike. Because
I,
most
and
CrossFit
I'm saying
gyms,
that's
again,
stupid.
not all, most. Okay. They can, all right then.
You can tell me your open
Um,
prediction, or you can tell me why I'm wrong. Like, I just want to be clear
all
about
right,
how we're
all
spending
right,
this time.
all right, all right. Open prediction. So I think you're gonna get. So I'm gonna put what I'm hoping it's gonna be. Not
Okay.
maybe not what I think it's gonna be, what I'm hoping. So I'm
Uh-huh.
going split monostructural gymnastics weightlifting. Going. It's gonna be an AMRAP of.
Ooh, got it.
Did you find it?
Keep going. Yeah,
So
yeah.
what I want it to be is like a 20-minute AMRAP, 25-minute AMRAP, something longer of 20 cal row, 20 wall ball, 5 wall walks, something like that.
Okay.
I'm not even close.
You're actually closer than I am. Actually, we're equally close.
Okay.
So
Okay.
we're gonna pop this on down here. We're gonna present, share screen. We're gonna present this one. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. 24-2 is as many rounds as possible in 20 minutes of 300-meter row, 10 deadlifts, 185 for the gentlemen, 125 for the ladies, and 50 double unders. This is going to be fucking disgusting.
So
Like
20. So let's
so
just do
it's a
some time math real quick here, right? Let's get freaky. So a 300-meter row. I'm just gonna make it like really simple time math
yeah,
because I understand
yeah.
it. Like so, for all intents and purposes, let's just call that a minute. For all intent, 90 seconds. Sorry, in my head. So 90 seconds for the row. Why are you pulling up a pacing calculator?
Because
So
I'm that much of a
so
geek. Your 500-meter split at a
so
2-minute, right? It's going to take you a minute 12.
sure.
Sure.
Okay. So I'm this is like so for easy time math, I'm just gonna say 90 seconds.
90 seconds. Cool. Call it 75
90
seconds.
seconds. So
Okay, whatever.
okay. 75 seconds. Jesus Christ. 75 seconds.
Yeah.
10 deadlifts.
At
Like
185, 125.
right, 30 seconds.
Really?
I mean, like I'm just like making it easy time math. You can do it faster than
Okay.
that.
Yeah, I would
15
agree.
seconds. So all right, fine, 15 seconds. We're at 90 seconds.
Right. Okay.
So each round is 2 minutes. You should get 10 rounds. How about them apples? How do you
So
like them
we're at
apples?
90 seconds.
And then 50 double unders, 30
And then
seconds.
50 double unders, assuming you go unbroken, is it's a
Yeah,
little
30
aggressive
seconds.
for color. Yeah, I'd say 2 minutes would be really
I
fast. I know.
I said
I
easy
know.
time math.
I know. I'm building upon your easy time math.
Like,
I think we'll see between 2 and
I
3 minute
think you're gonna
rounds.
see. So I think for your normal humans, I think you're gonna
Yeah.
see 2.5 to 3.5 minute rounds
Yep.
splits. Like probably most people are gonna, because 3, 2, 1, go. I'm with my friends. Friday Night Lights. Let's fucking get some. You're gonna start at 2.5 minutes, which is a bit aggressive, and you're gonna
Yep.
like slow down to 3.5. So I think 2.5 to 3.5 is the region for
Yep.
your normal people. I think your games and high level semifinals athletes are gonna maintain sub 2 minute splits. I think you're going to see
Right.
scores somewhere between 10 and 11 rounds on this workout, from like your top level athletes.
So,
I think you're going to see scores between 6 and 8 rounds for like,
yep,
or 5 and 8 rounds for your normal humans, and you're going to see scores between 10 and 12 rounds for your games athletes and like super high level people.
right. Oh, it's not cal row. It's a distance row. Um,
What do you
row.
do?
What time calculator? You never seen this?
No, I
I
use my head.
So I love this. Reps,
I
10,
clearly
weight, 185. We're gonna go pounds. Confirm, add movement.
180,
Uh,
185 kilograms.
and what was it?
No, so when you before you change it to pounds, it
Oh,
was like
double under.
deadlifts at 185
I'm
kilograms. I
trying
was
to
like,
I'm
yeah,
trying to remember the
double under.
double under.
You
Okay,
blend it.
so I like this because it has like so watt time calculator, you know, is a tool that I've used for forever, right? So your average person, right, middle 50th or what we would call 50th percentile, most
Sure.
workouts
Yeah.
are RX, still has a few weaknesses, a few years of experience. So this person could do this workout as prescribed, right?
Yeah.
I think
Hmm.
that this is not unreasonable, right? So if you've got like so this is almost 6 rounds. That's a round, a
Yeah.
little bit slower than a round every 3 minutes.
Yep.
Your advanced person, multiple years, no weaknesses, all workouts are RX with total
Hmm.
aerobic capacity. So like there's definitely going to be an overlap
Yep.
between the row and the deadlift,
Yeah.
right?
So almost eight
And
rounds.
yep. And going back to back double under and row is very aerobically
Breathing.
taxing. Yes.
Yep.
Yes, yes, yes. So I think that like this is not unreasonable, like almost 8 rounds. Competitive
Yeah.
athlete,
No,
there
you're
we
wild.
go. 9.5 rounds, right? So this is
Hmm.
yeah, buddy. I that's
These are like
the
your bubble your bubble semifinals level athletes.
yes, I
Like
agree
like top
entirely.
your top level quarterfinals athletes are in this category, and the last
Yeah.
one is what, elite.
Yeah. And then over elite, we would have basically over 10 rounds. So you'd be, you know, the difference between competitor and elite is not a lot. So they'd have into the 9th round. They'd be on the rower. They'd complete 9 rounds. They'd be on the rower in their 10th. The
Yep,
difference between them and elite is they'd complete the 10th and be on the rower into their 11th.
on the 11. So
I think
I
this
just
is
want to point
relatively
out that
reasonable.
Sam used this whole like AI thing, went through a process, and I said your normal people are going to fall between 5 and 8, and your high level athletes are going to fall between 10 and 11.
I'm going to fucking slap you. My
I,
point
I said the
in here,
same thing your thing is saying.
you did. You did. You did. But I, first of all, didn't listen to you. And second of all, wanted to just, it's like that line from the Lego movie. It was like, do you
Yeah.
understand?
Uh,
Yes. But just in case, tell me the whole thing all over again because I wasn't paying
Give
attention.
me the whole thing. Yeah, pretty much. So while Sam is sitting here playing with all of his AI things and technology they love so much, I'm just using my
Yeah.
head and some time math. Like, yeah, your average people land somewhere in between 5 and 8, which is what it said. It's like
Yep.
what was it? Your average was like into your 6th round, and then like your advance was like into their 8th round,
Yeah.
and then your competitors were between 10 and 11 or 9
Yep.
and 11. I was like,
9
oh,
and
would
11.
you
Yeah.
look at that?
Something like that. Um,
Would you
yeah.
look at that?
So
Okay.
difference between
I like that
obviously
workout.
I like this too. This both works and doesn't work for me. Um, I like it because I can RX it. I don't like it because I can RX it.
Yeah.
You figure so like 6 rounds would be a great target for me, right? I'm around every
Yeah.
3 minutes. If I can push a little harder, like a rower works really well for me. We had a workout recently for cap that I was definitely a wheelhouse workout for me. It was 12 cal row, like 25 double unders, um, max reps wall balls. I think it was 4 minutes on, 4 minutes rest, or 4 minutes on, 2 minutes rest, or something like that. No, it was 2 minutes on, 2 minutes rest. And I was you give me calories on a rower, and I'm I'm not only tall, I feel very confident on a rower, and so like I can crank on something like that.
Yeah.
300 meters. that's just uncomfortable enough that
Mhm.
like you could sit and go back to that pace calculator. If you do a 2-minute 500, that's going to cost you a minute and 12 seconds, right? A little bit of transition time,
Yeah.
you pick up and you go to your barbell. You could definitely push for like a minute, right?
So
And
here's what I want to know. This just popped into my head.
yeah,
Um, because of course, so they're doing the announcement right now. It's being done.
yeah,
The
they are.
live feed, whatever.
Yeah,
The thing that absolutely cracked me up was in the standards for 24.1
right.
was that you had to start the workout facing the
I
opposite fucking direction.
know.
They were like, you're gonna face the opposite direction, and at 3, 2, 1, go, you turn around and start snatching that bitch. Well,
Yep.
guess what? In the announcement, they just had the athletes straddling the dumbbell, 3, 2, 1, go. They
I
could just reach down,
know.
pick it up. There was no facing the other way. And I'm like, you guys made the fucking rule.
I
It's
know.
your rule, and
Yep.
then you screwed it up in your oh, like it.
Mhm.
I had to laugh. I was like, this is the most CrossFit thing that CrossFit has ever CrossFitted. Like it's par for the course at this point.
Yep.
So I'm like, what weird whatevers are they going to fuck up this time? Like, is there a certain way the barbell has to be facing, and they're not going to have it done during the announcement? Is there like, I
Oh,
don't
check
know.
this out. Monitor
What's
mouse
up?
ca- monitor mouse must count up to designated distance. You can't set it for 300 and have it count down. Interesting. And
Hmm.
then
I
deadlift
wonder if
barbell
that's.
stuff.
Never mind. Continue. Go ahead. I
No
can't wait
sumo.
to see. I can't wait to see whatever videos come out of people doing this open thing and people
I
just
know.
doing their deadlifts, just like 1, 2, 3, 4.
Long arm
Just
motherfuckers.
yeah. So it's like long. Oh gosh. Um,
Right.
could you imagine how fast fucking Marshmallow can do this workout,
Oh, I
Austin?
know it. He's that
God damn,
guy.
the dude, he was built to deadlift. His arms touch his ankles.
I know.
Um,
God help. God love him.
and he's just a fit dude. Like
He's also very
you
fucking
just like
fit.
you just
So
yeah.
from like a movement standard, nothing is super crazy. Like there's nothing super complicated. I like that. Um, oh, daylight savings time is observed Sunday in the United States. Take this into account when submitting. Woohoo. Um, not important. If time expires during the row, record your score when the monitor has come to a rest. Oh, okay. So they're counting 10
You
meters
get
as
your
one rep.
rollover meters.
Yeah. So no, well,
So you get your.
look
What
at
do you
this.
mean this is when it like so if the time stops when you're on the rower, you count the
Yep.
meters when the monitor comes to a stop. So like if you get like one last big pull in there and like the meters keep chipping away, like once the meters
Oh,
stop
oh,
counting,
yes, yes, yes. I
that's your
see what you're
score. So
talking about.
that
Yep. I see.
they're giving you your rollover meters.
Oh, gotta love that.
That's just money in the bank, bro.
It is money in the bank. So
So
tall
basically,
guys,
like
big
if you
pulls.
end on the rower, just start yanking on that sucker. Like if you're like, all right, I've got because we know that like at a 2 minute pace, the row is gonna take you a minute 12. So if you have anything less than like 90 seconds on the clock when you get on the rower, just start yanking because
Yeah.
you're gonna finish on the rower.
Yeah.
Like just start yanking that sucker as hard and as frequently as you can
Yeah.
to get the fan going as fast as you can so that you get them rollover meters and you
Yeah.
potentially finish. But
Yeah.
so I'm
Okay.
noticing a trend in this open of posterior chain destruction.
There is decidedly posterior chain bias.
So far.
So far, then unless they're going to be really fucking like not crossfitty and stick with posterior chain, that leads me to believe that there's going to be some kind of um
Like a clean
forward
or a snatch.
hinging. Well, um um maybe a clean, maybe a snatch. Actually, those would all be posterior chain as well because they're pulling motions. It would have to be some kind of
Oh, you're saying like some sort of like something opposite,
anterior
something
or hinging
anterior
thing.
chain.
Yeah.
We've got to get below parallel. Haven't done that yet. They're gonna do something below parallel for week 3. Thrusters, baby, they're
Yep.
coming.
Rowing, deadlift, double under. We don't have a fucking gymnastics movement.
Yeah, so that's what it's going to be, a Fran variant. It almost always is a Fran variant for the last bit, for the last one. Like
Yeah, some kind of
almost
something or
always.
something.
We had the
Low barbell in your
the fucking whatever it was, the 7-minute AMRAP of 3, 6, 9, 12 until infinity of thruster chest bar pull-ups.
Yeah.
We had the 4-minute increasing increments of 3 rounds of 15 thrusters, 15 chest bar, and increasing whatever's like you just kept going the 4 minutes of death until you couldn't finish in the 4 minutes. You had this one kind of counted as a Fran variant, but it was the similar structure, the overhead squat ladder, where it was like 6 overhead squats, 6 chest to bar, 2 rounds, and then you added on the next time bit, and it was like 9 and 9, 12 and 12. It was like 15 point something.
Yeah.
And then you had the thruster bar facing burpee for the last one, and that's been repeated. And then you had the stupid 27, 21, 15, 9 of thrusters and chest to bar.
Wasn't it 33, 27, 21, 15?
No, sorry, yes. Yeah, 30. So, gosh, I repressed the 33. God damn. The 33, 27, 21, 15, 9 of thrusters and chest bar pull up. Fuck.
Yeah.
The next one was I had like the 1 minute break in between. It was like front squat, toes to bar, thruster, rest a minute.
Mm.
Front squat, chest to bar, thruster, rest a minute.
Mm-hmm.
And then front squat, bar muscle up, thruster, done. And then it went into like the max clean complex. So so we might see it like a heavy part 2, because they usually test some sort of lift during the open. Yeah, there's usually like some sort of lift that gets chucked in there somewhere. So
typically,
we haven't seen a part 2 yet, which means that okay. So here we go. We're gonna, based on this one, we're gonna make predictions for week 3.
Well, I think you're right. We haven't been below parallel, and they're going to do that.
So I think we're gonna get below parallel.
So there's some kind of squatting movement, whether that's a squat clean or a front squat or a thruster. I think they're missing a huge opportunity if they don't do an anterior hinging movement. So like it seems obvious to me, like you could do like a chest to bar, but like like toe to bar is more accessible, or maybe it's what would be really fucking awful is if it was like toe to bar, you do like a couplet of couplets, toe to bar. Oh man. Toe to bar, front squat, and squat clean chest to bar.
Oh, I still think we're gonna see a thruster, because I don't think they can. I don't think they can get away from the thruster. It's become such a thing that thrusters happen like in the last week of the open. So I do think you're going to see a thruster.
Yeah, we haven't seen an overhead press as well.
So I think haven't seen any weight overhead. So I wonder if they do something like with a 95-pound bar, like increasing difficulty type deal. They go like clean thruster snatch, like kind of climbing up the ladder, and the gymnastics get harder. Toes to bar, chest to bar, bar muscle up, because they're going to chuck something higher skill in there to try and like start to separate out the athletes a little bit.
You need to,
because they haven't chucked anything skill in there, and so they're going to do something skill, and they usually do it just based on how the open is kind of moving. They usually do it in somewhat like in a progressive manner, to kind of like you have to kind of earn the higher skill shit.
Yep.
I like toes to bar in a thing. I think you could see, what was the one? It was 19.4. I don't know. This caused me so much pain. It was 3 rounds of like 10 power snatch at 95-65 and 10 bar facing burpees. Rest 3 minutes, and then 3 rounds of 10 bar muscle ups, 10 bar facing burpees. So it's like it was a pair of couplets in there with a 3-minute rest. Okay, so yeah. So, but something like that, I could see it being like like snatch toe to bar and then like thruster chest to bar in a pairing of some fucking shit or
Ooh,
another. Um,
snatch,
what's up?
toe to bar,
Yeah,
thruster, chest to bar. Ooh,
you get what I'm saying
that,
though? Like something similar
yes.
to that where it's kind of like two couplets. Whether it's like one right into the next one, because they've done that where it's like do this and then like immediately into the next bit.
Well, and for clarity's
Like
sake, this is
well,
what we're
because
talking about.
yeah,
Yeah.
to the rest. So whether there's a 3 minute rest or not, I think like either or regardless, because they did the
Okay.
one was it was an AMRAP where you the movements changed. So it comes like in 2 round chunks. It was like 2 rounds of dumbbell lunge toe to bar dumbbell power clean.
Mm-hmm.
And it was 2 rounds of that, and then it immediately went into 2 rounds of dumbbell lunge bar muscle up dumbbell power clean.
What year
It
was
was in
that?
2017,
Yeah.
2017,
Yep.
2017.2, 17.2.
Snatch is 17-1. Everybody broke their fucking backs. Yes.
Yeah, this.
50-foot walking lunge, 16 toe to bar, a power clean. Then 50-foot walking lunge, 16 bar muscle up, a power clean. Woo-hoo.
Yeah, so you just keep going in 12
Yeah.
minutes. But like so it could be something like that where you keep switching between snatch and toe to bar, thruster chest to bar, and keep
Yep.
going back and forth in some time.
Yes.
Or so it could be something like that, or like a progressive ladder of, you know,
Yeah.
toes to bar, chest to bar, bar muscle up, snatch, clean, thruster. It's going to be one of those two. Would be
I
my guess for next week, just
I
based on where we've been, what tends to happen in the open,
I
and then part B is
the
part B is a snatch complex,
hmm.
squat snatch, hang squat snatch, 2 overhead squats for max load.
Oh, that'd be awesome. I think you're spot on with the
I, I,
I think couplets and ascending difficulty,
mm-hmm.
pull up chest bar muscle up, or back down bar muscle up. No, they wouldn't do that. Pull up chest bar muscle
They
up.
wouldn't start with that. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Fuck you. You can't do this workout. Um
2015 Dave Castro 15.3 when you're like, all right, 15.3 is in 20 minutes, as many rounds as possible of 7 ring muscle ups,
well, you know what they could
50
do
wall balls,
instead?
and 100 double unders, and everyone went, fuck. The
Yeah.
workout starts with 7 ring muscle ups.
Yeah. You know what they could do instead is I was just thinking this is they could start with they could do toaster rings and then second half ring muscle ups.
I like that. And I like it for a couple of reasons because, and this, like, I know you're a gymnastics guy. You can feel free to argue with me. I don't care. Toaster rings are easier. Like, they, more people can do them than can do toes to bar because you can use a little bit more of the swing with your legs and kind of just like so correct gymnastics or not, you can kind of just like yeet your legs up there
Yep.
and get it.
Yep.
Like I would use it as a scaling option for athletes who are like, we can't quite get a toes to bar, but we want to give them something different than like just a straight leg raise to shoulder height.
Yeah.
Like, hey, let's get you moving your legs all the way up there, and they would do a toaster ring, and a lot more athletes can do that and maybe approach the RX version
Mhm.
than a toes to bar.
I
Is
I
just
also
my
think
thought on that.
I think it's interesting. You could do an AB where you do, let's call it toaster ring and snatch, right?
Sure. Yep.
And after that, it becomes uh, muscle up and thruster, right?
Yeah.
I think
Gross.
that what's interesting about the toaster ring is that it's more accessible. So more people are able to do them. But I don't
Mm-hmm.
believe that people who can do toe to bar can do more toaster rings.
So no, I agree. Like
Yes.
if it like let's just say like my max at a toes to bar is 20. That's as many as I got in the tank.
Yeah.
Switching to the rings doesn't mean I can now do 30
Now, in fact, I would
because
argue
there's
that you could probably
it's
do less toaster rings. People who
maybe.
so and my
I don't
argument for that is
disagree.
based on the fact that you can with a fixed static implement like the bar, you can press And for those people who don't hinge as much and they press away to kind of close the gap there, you can't do that
Yep.
with rings.
Yeah, you have to use your hip flexors in your midline.
Yes. Yes.
So if you've got a strong hip flexors in midline and it's the shoulder bit that's limiting you on your toes to bar, then like toes to ring can be a good way to kind of make that happen.
Yeah.
Or like you might have an easier time making that happen.
Yeah.
Whereas like if the opposite, if like your shoulders are doing a lot of the stuff,
Yeah.
to make up for the fact that your midline and hip flexors can't close, you can't close your hip angle enough to get your feet up there. The toes to ring aren't going to be a walk in the park or that much easier because you can't press down. Not that you can't press down, but you can't press down nearly as much on the
You can't
rings.
press against anything.
Because, well,
Yeah.
right. You can close your shoulders, but you're not actively doing anything.
Yeah, absolutely.
But, so
Yeah.
you get what I'm saying. So
I do.
that could be an interesting twist, toes to rings, because we haven't seen those in the open ever. I wouldn't mind seeing them. But when was the last time? Here's a question: when was
Yeah.
the last time we did ring muscle ups in the open?
2
I'm
opens
asking to
ago?
see if you know because I know.
Was it 2022?
Nope.
Then it was Choose Your Own Adventure in like 2019 or whatever.
Yeah, 19.5. 20.5. Sorry. It was 2019, but it was the 2020 Open, 20.5.
Right.
I don't think I'm 97.2% sure that we don't have in 2022 we don't have ring muscle up because they did ring muscle ups in quarterfinals because it was GHD's pistols and ring muscle ups.
Yeah, that's right. You're right. It would have been like
It was 20.5.
20.5.
The choose your own adventure, the 150 wall ball, no, 120 wall balls, 80 calorie row, 40 muscle up, split anyway.
Yep.
That was the last time we did. So technically 5 years ago because the 2020 Open was in the fall of 2019.
Right.
So technically 5 years ago was the last time we did ring muscle ups in the open. I think
I'm verifying.
more towards bar. Yeah, go ahead. I think they gravitate more towards bar muscle ups because more people can do them, or maybe have a better shot of doing them because you can chicken wing your shit over a pull up bar versus a rings.
Yeah, you can chicken wing your shit for
instead of
sure.
rings.
I think that's hang on, that's 2021. I'll double check 2022. Dumbbell snatches and box jump overs. Oh God, 1 up to 10 and back down, deadlift and part facing burpee. And then 13, of course, was the pull up double under thruster, chest bar double under thruster, bar muscle up double under thruster. That was a good one. You're right, man. Like,
yeah.
So it's been nigh on to 4 years.
5 years. It's been 5 years technically, time wise. It's been 4 opens, but 5 years technically.
Right, because the 2020 Open
2020 Open was in 2019.
Yeah. Well, then I think
we're coming up on 5 years without ring muscle up. So I think it'd be reasonable for them to do it again.
We're due.
But I think they gravitate more towards the bar muscle up just because you're either more likely that people can do them, or I don't know. But I think it's reasonable for a ring muscle up. So I like your idea of toes to ring
muscle ups.
Ring muscle up.
Well, I'm calling it then. That's what we're going to see next week. All right. We're at a little over an hour. This is a long podcast. We will see for sure. I wish you well, sir, on your deadlifts, double unders, and rowing. I'll be doing this 8:30 a.m.
I'm going to be doing it Monday.
You're doing it Monday? I'm going to do it Saturday, 8:30 a.m. at the local affiliate, CrossFit Casco Bay.
Love that. I'm going to be doing it Monday because we have a preseason game for soccer on Sunday against a professional academy team. And so we kind of want to show up there and like kind of see if we can flex our muscles a little bit. And because we're a new club in the space and kind of show what we're about. And so I would love to not have my hamstrings peeling off the back of my legs for that game. Would be great.
Don't fuck that shit up.
So I'm gonna play the game Sunday, and then whatever I got left in the tank on Monday, we'll give it hell. And that'll be the jam.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, enjoy that. Have a great weekend. Ladies and gentlemen, if you were playing along and you're still with us, hope you enjoyed an hour and 4 minutes, 4.5 minutes of us rambling, and we will see you next week. Take care, everybody.